Hello and welcome back to Silph Time, your PvP Pokemon Go podcast. Today we have episode 7 and we're going to be talking about GoFest. All GoFest related hype is going to be right here, right now, with myself, Zacharias, and our lovely host, as always, Thidricker.
Then Diane Herslinger. Yes, I am super excited. GoFest is one of my favorite times of the year. We always plot out hour to hour our entire plans for this. So I'm excited to talk about GoFest. I'm excited with a lot of what they're offering this year at GoFest. So I think it's going to be a ton of fun. So I think what we'd like to start with is just an explanation of how GoFest is going to work, both for ticket holders and non-ticket holders. Because even if you didn't buy the ticket, everyone, there is still so much good stuff for you to take part in during GoFest. And then we'll break it down for those of you PvP players for what you should be hunting for to maximize your GoFest time. So why don't you tell us a little bit about GoFest, Zacharias?
Okay, so we've got 2 days. We've got June the 4th, the Saturday, and June the 5th. So the main bulk of the fun times for me are definitely going to be on the 4th, the Saturday. We've got 4 rotating biomes. We've got city, plains, rainforest, tundra. And then we've got the incense for those ticket holders out there. That's going to give you some extra spawns during those 4 biomes. And then we've got the usual unknowns to catch as well. And on that, you're really going to want to grind specific biomes. I think it's similar to what happened last year, that there were some biomes that were better than others, and that's just the way it breaks down.
Yeah, and also for ticket holders, shiny chances are increased, but they are not at Community Day shiny level. So raise your expectations for shiny, but lower them a little bit. It's not the 1 in 20 we get at Community Days. I know some people were like, I'm only getting such and such. I'm like, well, you're still getting 40 shinies in a day. Still a good haul, all things considered. But yeah, so you double rotate through the biomes on the first day. And then the second day is primarily focused. The incense will spawn all of them from the previous biomes and has a lot of rating. Now, they're doing something new this year that we don't know a lot about yet, where you choose your experience for ticket holders, whether you want relaxed, standard, or master, for how many obligations you want during the day, which seemingly only gives you extra tasks and I believe a different sticker and or medal for your reward. Not going to affect your hunting in regards to what your rates are or what's spawning. It's just, how hard do you want to go? Do you have 3 kids with you who are going to get exhausted after 45 minutes? Or are you going out there with 3 phones, a battery pack, and a Camelback on so you can stay hydrated and just grinding all day long? Both are perfectly fine. Find a nice gauge for you. Hopefully most of you are in a better location than I am. I'm in Florida right now, where it is estimated to be 93 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 34 Celsius. So if you are in a warm location, make sure you stay hydrated and stay covered, for all my friends down in Australia as well. But if you're in a cooler location, man, just a lovely day outside catching Pokemon.
Yeah, just hoping there won't be rain in Dublin. That's going to be the big thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, have a backup plan if the weather goes south. Of somewhere indoors you can walk enough, or just wear a rain jacket, put your gacha on, and put your phone in a waterproof pocket, and just keep walking anyways.
Yeah. So, like I say, I think there's definitely a ranking we can make for the biomes. We really want to focus in on what you want, of course. So if there's a specific shiny or a specific Pokemon that you've missed out on and you're trying to grind to get those XL candy, or you just really, really have a pet want for a hundo shiny of a specific mon, far be it for me to tell you it's a bad spawn for you to be hunting after, but there's definitely going to be priorities. You don't want, maybe you do want to be grinding solid for 8 hours, but most of us are going to want to take breaks. So pick the hours that you want to jump in on and really go ham. And there's the full list for what spawns you really want to be getting. And we've done a little bit of ranking ourselves to figure out which ones you really want for PvP.
Yeah, so let's just jump into it. We're just going to go, we'll talk about the city first, then plains, then rainforest, then tundra. We'll break them down. As you can see, we've got what is spawning as far as we know. Each of these times, we don't know the costumed Pikachu yet. I'm guessing an Alolan because we are finishing up the season of Alola costume Pikachu. But it's a costume Pikachu, everyone. If you love shiny costume Pikachus, go for it. It is a fun, unique type of collection to have. If you don't care about costume Pikachus, grab your 5 photo bombs and move on, as they usually do it. So we start with the city, which of course usually means we get some steals, we get some poisons to deal with all of the trash and pollution and various, and we also get ghosts apparently, because the cities are much more haunted, it seems. So as we look at city, there's lots of great shinies on the city option. So if you're a shiny hunter, city's got some beautiful shinies for you. I love Bronzong's shiny. I love male Unpheasant's shiny.
Yeah, just a shame that Golett isn't shiny yet, but
Golett has such a good neon shiny. It's definitely one of my top shiny choices. So someday, Golett, maybe we'll get a community day.
Oh my God, we can dream.
Yeah. See, I love Golett because he reminds me of my first computer game that I played, and this is going to date me on my 486, called Tink Tonk's Adventure, which was definitely a child's game. I have seen it speedrun in like 8 minutes, and I think I played it for a year and never beat it. But Shiny Golett is neon green and black, so he's just cool and stylish, and I want him.
Yeah, I'm going to be grinding hard to get a PvPable Golurk. I have to say, my Great League collection wants a better IV Golurk.
Yeah, so let's talk about Great League Pokemon. I think the biggest winner here is definitely Golett. Obviously, they're very hard to get under 1500 CP from hatch. You have to re-roll them and roll low. So getting great IVs for Great League on a Golurk is really difficult. Now, Golurk isn't going to see much mainstream Great League play, Open Great League, but it sees a lot of Silph use. He's actually surprisingly bulky. Ground Ghost is a good typing with lots of resistances. Mud Slap hits super hard. And then he's got Shadow Punch and Dynamic Punch, I believe, are the usual move pool on him, which is amazing. If you watch my old Golurk Spice video, you can see he can survive and win against Obstagoon, which you do not expect a Ghost to do, because that Dynamic Punch is enough, and he can survive the second Night Slash. You never want to shield the first one because the second one might get a stat boost. But he can do it and win. So I think Golurk is definitely top priority for the hardest to get for Great League, and super good in limited Silph Cups.
Yeah, and you really want that 2, 15, 14 for the rank 1. It's not 100% necessary, but you do want the bulk to get there. And there are some breakpoints, because obviously Mud Slap hits pretty hard. You might want a breakpoint here and there. But it really depends on the custom cup that you're going in for. Overall, aiming towards that high bulk stat product is definitely where you want to be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have not gotten them, this is a great time to get your Trash Wormadam, which sees a lot of Silph play, especially in the past 3 months. Steel Bug is just a great typing. It's only weak to fire. It's very bulky. You can get a really good IV one that goes into the XLs. It's got Confusion, which lets it beat a lot of what is going to come against it. And it's just bulky. Other good options, Hitmonchan, because of its elemental punches, has a lot of flexibility, and I like it well enough. I keep wanting Clink Clang or Clink Clang to show up. Not yet, but maybe someday it'll have its place. But here's my sleeper pick, everybody. Galarian Weezing. It is completely unplayable right now, but if it ever gets a viable fast move, it is the only poison fairy in Pokemon. And that unique typing will give it lots of interesting play. And its stats are also perfectly fine. It has nothing viable as a fast move right now. Right. So its overall stat product is 1890. It's like non-optimized. So it's got a good defense. It's got perfectly fine stamina. And if it ends up getting one of those new fairy or poison fast moves, instead of having being stuck with tackle, it could be really interesting. And it also has access to overheat. So we could really do some fun stuff with it if it gets a fast move. And since they're actually really hard to come by because no one wants to waste a raid pass on Galarian Weezing, right? What a terrible use of a raid pass. Catching them now and getting one just to hold on in storage is the best way to go. So that one day, if it happens, you can laugh because no one is prepared and you can show up. GoFest, what was it, 2018, I want to say. I didn't get to go to, but my friend went to. And I was like, oh, pick me up all the low CP Togetic you can get. Togekiss isn't good, but maybe if it gets a fast move, it'll change things up. And then it got Charm. And no one had a low CP Togekiss except for me. And it was amazing. The Great League in the early days with Charm Togekiss was one of my favorite plays. I always had a special place. So if Galarian Weezing gets a viable fast move, it's going to be amazing. So that's my sleeper pick. Hopefully.
Yeah. That's only for the incense ticket holders, unfortunately.
Yeah. So everyone else just ask your friends to pick one up if you don't have one. If you don't have a ticket, that's fine. But yeah, so that's my sleeper pick in the incense. The other incense mon is Cling or Clink. It's been in 10Ks for a while, so if you wanted one, you probably have one. But I mean, it's a mono steel, which is a good defensive type. There's always a chance that it'll find a good place or get one or two more good moves to take it there. Any other thoughts you have on City?
No, that's it. I think you covered it really with a Wormadam. I still don't have an XL, but my non-XL Trash Dam is doing pretty good for me. Might be nice to get a shiny, and especially if I can get a shiny XL.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're going to end up with a Motham instead of the female Wormadam.
Yeah.
And Cry. That was my first shiny. I was like, oh, it's going to be shiny, and it was. And then I caught it, and I was like, oh, it's male. All right. Yeah. So, City, great. Tell me take me to the plains.
Yeah. So plains. Well, I mean, I think I've picked myself the prize of GoFest here. Just for the ticket holders again, Axew. I mean, that's going to be everybody grinding all day, every day for that. I think anybody counting their lucky stars getting a good shiny of that.
It'll probably also be in raids if it's anything like Dino last year, which was the big ticket shiny. Everyone loves pseudo mythic dragon shinies.
Exactly, and it's going to be everybody's going to be hitting those raids hard. I'd imagine that'll be a big one on the Sunday, not to mention the incense. But other than that, we have Rufflet, which is it's a fan favorite, and Bravery is possibly okay. Not going to be really all that important in PvP, but it's a pretty shiny. Drillbur, anybody who doesn't have the hundo for Master League and getting the XLs for Master League as well, like it's a hard one to grind for. It's spawned fairly sporadically, few hatches here and there, and then Torkoal, for those who don't have it, I don't have one, and it has
good one.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who does have it, it's been a trade with a friend, I imagine, or nice trip abroad, at least for us Irish types. But yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I think you've used it in one cup, I remember, or I think there was a temptation to use it. Maybe.
Yeah, he's bulky. He's mono fire, but he's very defensively oriented. So he's not going to see play in the or he's not going to see widespread play in Open Great League, but he is going to show up in Silph Cups. And so getting him, because he's a hard to get regional or a harder to get regional, will definitely be helpful. I mean, but it beats Registeel, it beats Defense Deoxys, it beats Skarmory. like there's definitely play for it, even in Open Great League. It just, you have to watch out for the big Walrein Sableye Araquanid now. And it somehow barely loses, if the baits are called right, to Trevenant, which is a crime. But there you go. I think it's because its only fire charge move is Overheat. So it's really one of those, like, so its overall stat product is over 2,000. So it's very bulky and defensive, but its charge moves are Overheat, Earthquake, and Solar Beam. So it kind of needs something a little bit cheaper to really take off, but it's viable now, and it can get better anytime they decide to add another cheap move to it.
Yes, that would be good. Other than that, I mean, the usual suspects of, if you want to get a better trap inch Flygon, you're going to grind those trap inches all day. I still haven't actually gotten a shiny trap inch. I know, crime of crimes. That's
such a good
one of the
shiny.
few community days I didn't do. And then Camerupt, I mean, you're going to get the Mega at some stage. So grind the bells. And Tyranitar, I mean, what's the problem having another, XL Tyranitar for your raiding goods?
Yeah. And he has a Mega still coming out too. So, getting a good, and now that we're testing Megas in Master League, it's going to lose to Mega Gyarados, but nonetheless, Mega Tyranitar has like a over 6,500 CP when it's maxed. So definitely just a good farm.
Are there any other sleeper picks for us for this one?
We do. We have everyone's favorite sleeper pick, Dunsparce. Now, Dunsparce is terrible right now. I don't want him to be terrible. Some people still try and make him work. But the truth of the matter is he has Bite, and Bite is a terrible fast move. And so even though he's super defensive, he's over 2,100 stat product. With Bite, he's just not going to pick it up. But one of Dunsparce's most signature moves is Rollout, which you all, of course, know. We just got on a worthless community today outside of Dust on a Lowland Golem. So if Dunsparce gets Rollout, it's game on, because he already has Drill Run and Rock Slide as fast moves, which are amazing, or for charge moves, sorry. So just on PV Poke against the Open League, Dunsparce has, as it stands, is 32% win rate. If we give him Rollout, now that we have actual stats for it, he goes up to a 70% win rate.
That's unbelievable.
So, yeah, all it takes for Dunsparce to become mainstream, because he's so bulky, is Rollout. It's going to give him some insane wins and pick him up. So that, again, I would try and get a good PvP, probably shiny, because it's GoFest, and just hold on to it for Great League and wait for his time in the sun to come. Yeah, so that's Plains. There's some good stuff in there. There's some great shinies in there as well. All right, now tell us about the Rainforest. I think this is where most people are starting to get really excited.
Yeah, well,
the winner.
Yeah, exactly. We're leaving Axu behind. We're all going to be grinding out to bits anyway. So we're moving on to Rainforest. So one thing for the people who don't get to travel, like myself, is Tropius. I mean, I have been wanting a Great League Tropius so bad. I think I've traded 6 or maybe 8 so far of people who've come back from holiday, Malta, and
I may or may not have convinced my wife to go to Malta for our anniversary, and Tropius may or may not have weighed in on my decision making for why we wanted to go there.
Yeah.
Don't tell her.
Yeah. She'll never know.
But I stocked up on Tropius, got my Great League one, and I love this Mon. Not only is he a derpy dinosaur with a banana beard, but he's also just amazing in Great League.
He really is, and I love my grass types, so that is definitely one I'm really hyped for. I think the only way it would have been more hype is if there was a shiny involved.
Oh, yeah.
But I can relax. And then there's Pancham as well, because, I mean, we've only had Pancham in 12k eggs, and Pangoro, in theory, is a great leagueable mon. I mean, it doesn't really perform in any way better than Scrafty, and it's kind of just doing the same job as Scrafty, just worse. But, for whatever reason, if there was a custom cup, Scrafty was banned, Pangoro could come in and do a pretty good job.
And it's snarl instead of counter, but it has close combat.
Yeah.
So it's a little more shield threatening than Scrafty. I think Scrafty is still the overall better pick, but I think Pangoro is still definitely an interesting option.
Yeah. Interesting is the right word for that. And then if anybody wants their Dragalge, especially for the Ultra League, or if you're looking for, a nice hundo that you want to max out for whatever reason, if you just need those level 50 dragons, grind those XLs. I mean, they're going to be all day for the rainforest, and they're not just an incense.
Yeah, Skrulp is definitely worth farming. Such a good Pokemon. It's with the Dragon Tail buff, he's just been dominating the leagues. Poison Dragon's just really, really good typing.
For anybody who hasn't got their Vigoroth as well, I mean, Slackoth will be spawning, or if you're just looking for it. And if you wanted I don't know if you needed the extra XL for Swampert in Master League, but I mean, we've probably all crowned that fairly hard over the past few years anyway.
If not, Mega Swampert also will be coming out too. So like, especially if you're a newer player, Swampert is something that works well in all three leagues, and the hundo is great for raids and will be even better for megas.
Yeah, and that's a pretty sweet looking mega as well.
Yeah, it's a great mega. I am excited for Shiny Breloom. I know he's not very good, but I love him because he was my shiny hunting Pokemon in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because he gets fake, what's the move called? Fake chop, fake cut, where basically you can't kill a Pokemon when you hit it. And so basically you could knock him down to 1 with him. And then if you powered up a Shroomish to level 40 before you evolved it, he also got Spore, which is 100% sleep rate. So you knock him to 1, then you spore them, and then it's so great. Everything is good to go for you. So I love him for my main series plays, but he's had like 3 viable times in Silph Cups, but I just like the shiny. So I will be hunting him harder than I think most people are.
Yeah, it hadn't come up my radar, but in fairness, a grass type with counter, that is always that's always a good one to have.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell us about Tundra?
Sure. I will talk about the Tundra, as we all know, the most valuable of the dual lands. Get yourself a nice Alpha Tundra for $7,000 now. It's only $700 though if you go with unlimited, and I sold mine for $120. I mean, I sold it, when it was $120, which was a long time ago. But Tundras, of course, helpful for anyone who lives somewhere that doesn't get snowy weather, because you don't get a lot of ice types in Florida, for example. So the good news for non-ticket holders is Bergmite spawning again. And Avalugg, I love him. His stats are amazing. He is so bulky that even though his best fast move is Ice Fang, he's still very viable because he's got Body Slam, Crunch, and Blizzard as options. So he is what I'm looking for most. Yes, he's weak to fighters and fire, so there's plenty of meta picks that are damaging to him. But in Silph Cups, he's really been showing up strong. I've been leaning on him lately in the Colony Cup for Silph factions, and I really just like how he's been performing. He's always putting pressure on, even though he's not super fast to getting out his charge moves. Obviously, the #1 breakout star of the past few months in Open Great League is Walrein, because we just had the community day. So if you missed out on that, you want to get yourself a ideal PvP Spheal for both Great League and Ultra League, and hold on to them till December so you can evolve them, because you don't want to have to burn 2 Elite TMs to get both Powder Snow and Icicle Spear. But they are well worth it. You want to make sure you've got a good one, or get yourself that nice shiny one so you can also flex the purple boy. Empoleon has seen a lot of interesting play in Silph Cups. He's the only water steel, so he's a very valuable pickup as well. Poplio is new, so if anyone's still looking, he's got Brion has play. Is Brion the Primarina is the old final evolution?
Yeah.
Sorry, I always pick grass starters. And they did Decidueye wrong, so I'm still sad about that. But Primarina has play in all three leagues, especially in Master League. So I definitely recommend trying to get a Hundo Primarina. Pelipper has seen some play at the regionals.
Yeah.
Pelipper's got, tanky with Weather Ball is always a good way to go. And now for the ticket holders, the instance I actually really like because we're getting more Galarian Mr. Mime, not because he's super strong, but because he's rare. We've had one chance to get him in field research, and before that, it was a paid ticket event. So having another event where he's included with all of the stuff I really care about, I'm going to try and make sure I get my Great League, Mr. Rhyme. Also, he's on ice. His shoes are made of ice, so he's always slipping, and that amuses me. If you're still needing raid mons, I guess Mamoswine is great. My friend was doing the Landorus raids, and he two-man. He had Mega Bulma and the other person had 6 Shadow Mamoswines fully powered up, and he did 70% of the damage. Just absolutely deleted Therian Landorus. It was beautiful. So Mamoswines, if you're looking for good ice attackers, because we've always got legendary dragons showing up. But yeah, I think for non-ticket holders, Avila or Bergmite is by far the best. If you, for some reason, don't have a Metacham, you can catch the Metatites now. Metacham is, of course, the #1 most occurring mon in all of the regionals now for Great League. XL Metacham is amazing. And spicy take here, Mega Metacham is viable in Ultra League. So maybe getting one ready for if Megas ever come to Ultra League. I think Mega Sableye, which isn't spawning during GoFest, and Mega Metacham will disrupt the meta significantly.
That's a good shout. I like that.
So yeah, that's my thinking on Tundra. Did I miss anything or anything you're excited about that I didn't call out?
No, I think that covers it. Like you say, Mr. Rhyme, I was definitely scouting that because it wasn't possible to get a high bulk IV one. So you want to be going for that 0, 14, 13 for rank 1 and 1, 15, 11 if you want to keep it as a Galarian Mime. But yeah, no, I think that's definitely a solid hour to grind in. Like you say, there's a lot of water types there that are really worth grinding. And the Bergmite, I mean, I haven't built an Avalugg yet myself, so I might have to just get myself one.
All right, great. So those are the 4 biomes we're going to be hunting. All of them have something good to offer. But again, at the end of the day, most of you are going to want to kind of take a few breaks or go hard for some. So let's rank these 4 biomes in terms of most important to grind hard to the one that you can not do all rotations, take a break, eat some lunch, use the gotcha, whatever the case may be. So what is your ranking? I think we're going to line up, but
yeah, I think really, other than Golett, City isn't like I will try and get myself a Galarian Wheezing, and especially get the shiny, but I'm going to just grind to get a Golett on City. I'm probably going to put that in at my number 2 position personally. I think my number 1 position is going to be Plains. I think I'm just really going to want to hit, I really want the shiny Flygon. I use Flygon so often in Great League, and because I've not gotten it as a community I missed, it means that I really want to grind it to get a good IV for Great League and shiny if I can. And that means that realistically Tundra is going to be my number 4, I think. And Rainforest, I kind of go back and forth. Like, it could be that Rainforest is my number 1 because I really want that Tropius.
Yeah.
But I think because Plains has Axew and the possibility of me finally getting a shiny Flygon for Great League. So maybe, okay, I'm going to go Plains, Rainforest, City, Tundra.
Plains, Rainforest, City, Tundra. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so Plains is my number 1 because I desperately want a Great League Haxorus. I know most people want him for upper leagues, but Dragon with counter, yes, please. I need an excuse to run that in Great League. And I want a Fracture too, so I'm going to double up there. I also want a Torkoal because I really want my regionals. And since for whatever dumb reason I only run 1500s, I've got to hunt to make sure I get it the right Torkoal. So Plains is a number one for me. I also would like a Great League Braviary. It's got close combat and it's got Brave Bird. If it hits you, it's going to kill you basically. And I like that. I've got a Great League Rufflet made with Brave Bird as well. But every time I can fill out more on my thorough decks, I'm on board. Second for me is Tougher. I think from a not me perspective, it should be Rainforest because I think Tropius is good enough. Tropius and Skrelp are good enough to carry it on its own. Those are such good Pokemon to pick up. I have both of them. So really all I'm desperately looking for in Rainforest is a Pangoro for Great League and for Shiny Breylooms. So I think that means I have to put it lower, but man, I have a Golurk and I don't care about anything else in City other than Galarian Weezing. So yeah, I think I have to go. I think I'm going to go Rainforest second. Tundra is a close third because I really do want a Great League Mr. Rime. Because I'm looking at these in terms of hardest to obtain for me rather than necessary overall value. Because again, I've got a Tropius. I love Tropius. Absolutely look for any excuse to run him. He's so good. But since I have one, I'm not prioritizing it as much. And I would really like to have a Mr. Rime because they're hard to come by. And then that puts fourth place in City. I think there's a lot of great stuff in City for a lot of people. But as I look over these, I've got a Great League Tranquil, XL Tranquil. I've got a Great League Golurk. I've got a Great League Bronzong, Great League Incineroar, and XL Great League Wormadam. So it's like everything that I want other than Galarian Weezing, I've already procured. So that is the hour that I will probably be playing the lightest. If I need to stop and get a meal or something, City is where I'm going to take my break. Plains is going to be my hardest grind. I'm going to make sure I spend the entire hour incense up, catching everything, never stopping for raids to make sure that I can get all of the spawns. And then Rainforest and Tundra, I will go hard on, but I will probably try and get raiding in. And then City, I may just turn once I get a Great League Galarian Weezing, I'll probably turn the gotcha on for City and focus on raids during that time. So that I can walk a little bit easier during those. I think there's something in all of them. There really is. There's good stuff in all of them. But I think Axew is the big winner. People are going to be raiding for it for the shiny. It's a gorgeous shiny, right? It's a jet black Haxorus with red blades on its mouth. It's just fun. I actually bred a perfect shiny 6IV Haxorus in Ultra Sun just because I liked them on. And because it's not that good in regular main series game competitive Pokemon, but I just love Haxorus. False Swipe, that's the move I was trying to remember with Breloom. That it finally came to me because Haxorus also gets it, and I swapped it out once I got my shiny one to let him hunt for other legendaries. But yeah, then I guess why don't we rank incense spawns, ignoring unknown because you're only shiny hunting those. Of our 8 incense spawns, since on the second day they'll all be randomly spawning, where are you ranking these? I think Axew gets free number 1 spot, but then from there, where would you go?
I think you're right about difficulty to catch, or not to catch, but difficulty to procure, as you say. What are we going to get? When are we going to get these again? I'd say, like you say, Axew, for me, I think it would have to be Tropius next because I've been trying it for so long. Then Torkoal, probably Galarian Mime, Pangoro, Galarian Weezing. I think realistically, the ice type
Darumaka.
Yeah, Darumaka is. I wouldn't mind getting the shiny. Yeah, and equally with Clink, I think I have a shiny, but it's just a 10, 10, 11 or something like that. So then a reroll. I think. Would you agree with that?
So mine's a little different, but that's just because I've got a Tropius. I'm still going to catch a lot of Tropius. because I like to save them for trades because, again, they're so good. I like to give them to people who need them. But Torkoal edges second because I really want a Torkoal. Then probably Galarian Wheezing because I know I'm never going to waste a raid pass on that. Especially now that remote passes we don't get a discount on. It's like I'm not going to blow raid passes on Galarian Wheezing. So I'd like to knock one out now. Pangoro, I really want to get one for Great League, even though it'll probably never see play unless Scrafty is banned in a Silph Cup. Still like to have it. I have 2 shiny Kling, so that's my least important one. Darumaka is only slightly above it. I have a Hundo Darumaka. It's not shiny, but it's like I've got enough ice damage. And so I'm guessing Mr. Rhyme will be making more returns than the regionals are. So that's why I'm placing him below Torkoal and Tropius. But yeah, like in terms of if you're coming fresh into PvP, Haxorus and Tropius should be your top priorities. Haxorus for Ultra Master League and just for super cool shiny. Tropius is absolutely a wonderful beast with Leaf Blade. So he's a better Jumpluff for grass damage. And Jumpluff shields down, has acrobatics, but I still think Tropius has better stats overall and moves. But yeah, so I think the incense are really good this year. Even though like I don't need a Clink or a Darumaka, I don't feel like they're duds. So I think the incense is really solid. There's nothing where I'm like, if I caught it, I'd be sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the incense.
So then it's just the raids and Shaman. I think they're the only 2 big perks for GoFest.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't know anything about Shaman because it's the landform Shaman. It's not the flying reindeer Shaman. It's Hedgehog Shaman, who is adorable. And I love the shiny even more because it's like a neon teal color. But regular Shaman is just a mono grass type. So I don't think it's going to make much in the way of waves. Skyform Shaman is grass flying. So maybe if it's low, it will compete with Tropius. And if it's not, then we'll have a grass flying for Ultra and or Master League eventually, which would be nice. So I don't expect a lot from Shaman other than to have another mythical. Raids is the question. We know we're getting a new 5-star.
Yeah.
So
they have not told us anything else.
We know nothing else at the time of recording this, which means it'll probably be revealed when this comes out and we'll have egg on our face. But so a leading theory, and I'm not sure I buy it or not, but I want to believe. We'll put it there I want it to be true. We're getting the U and the B unknowns, which of course clearly means Ultra Beast. And it's the season of Alola. So an Ultra Beast invasion would be a similar to the Hoopa invasion event we kicked off. So I'm hoping we get an Ultra Beast or 2. That could also include our anti-Ultra Beast type Null. Since we had Gladion stuff with this season of Go Battle League, it would thematically fit in. So maybe we'll get type Null for raids.
Be interesting.
Yeah, having a legendary that you then have to evolve via friendship, like best friending or something, I'm on board for it. I'd be fine with it. I think we're going to see a lot of the old good raids, just like last year. I think Yveltal will probably be back as one that's worth picking up. I'm hoping Zacian and Zamazinta return because we didn't really understand how great Zacian was going to be in Master League. So a lot of people didn't hard farm it. And so having it back would be nice. So if those 2 come back, I'm looking forward to them. If we get Ultra Beasts, I mean, I love Guzzlord because he's a giant trash dragon from evil warped multiverse dimension, which is, thematically delightful and great. But I mean, maybe Buzzswole would also, he's kind of iconic and he's super fun. I doubt they'll give us the title legendaries yet. So no Lunala or Solgaleo, I don't think. So, and then my favorite of the Ultra Beasts was Xurkitree, though. Do I want a super electric Christmas tree? Yes, please. I'm on board. He's super fun. What are your hopes for raids or thoughts for raids?
I mean, I don't have a huge amount invested in it, but yeah, I think roll the dice on you have 9 to pick from. Roll a 9-sided dice and see what happens. I don't have any clue. Like that, the U and the B. Oh, is it 2 tinfoil hats? I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, for sure.
A jump on, but man, I'm on board for them. It would be good to have something to hardcore raid. I'm not currently massively excited for the Sunday. I was spending Saturday going ham for the grinding hard, and then Sunday just taking it easy. And I'll maybe do a bunch of remote raids people invite me to. That was my plan. But like you say, it might be egg on my face. It might be something awesome on Sunday, and I'm going to regret not booking the day out as well.
Yeah, I mean, because there's a chance it's Arceus, right? The stats and the assets for Arceus have been in the game for a while now. Dream situation, which means it's probably not going to happen. Volcanion, right? The only fire water type in the game. Absolutely was part of my Alpha Sapphire competitive Pokemon team. I love that Pokemon because it's unique typing. It's super cool and awesome. I don't think we'll get him yet, but if we do, that changes my entire Sunday. It's like, oh yeah, no, I need a hundo of him. But I don't think we'll get a mythical for raiding because I think they want to encourage lots of trading as part of GoFest. So I think it's going to have to be something that you can trade. So that's why I'm guessing Ultra Beasts makes the most logical sense. Unless they want to, they could give us box legendaries from Alola, or they could give us the second form Kanto birds from Galar, which would be really interesting. Because I really like the Galar legendary birds. I think they're a really fun, unique redesigns. So, I'd be on board with that too. But I feel like those are going to be popular enough. We don't want to spend GoFest on those. But maybe that's just me.
No, I think you're right. They'll save the bigger hype and the mythicals for other days.
I think that pretty much covers what to plan for GoFest. Saturday is my day because, and yours as well, because of PvP. Those are the mons we're looking for because we play mostly Great League, but there's a lot of good stuff for all 3 of the leagues, as well as some good megas and a ton of great shinies, right? Shinies are one of the main reasons people love GoFest is because you'll just get a haul of cool and new shinies. And so it's like, oh, even if I'm not getting what I'm exactly looking for, I'm still getting some cool shinies, which is fun. So why don't we pass some questions over to our viewers so we can hear how excited they are about GoFest? What would you like to ask them?
Yeah, I guess I'd love to hear what people are hoping to hunt. Is there anything we missed? Is there a shiny that you're particularly looking to jump on? Tell us why, like the stories we've had about which Pokemon we love and the reason why. We'd love to hear what you guys think, guys and gals.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts on the raids? Are we going crazy? Are we wearing aluminum foil on our heads? And we're trying to protect ourselves. Ultra Beasts are nonsense. It's going to be something boring and bland like Regigigas with a new move. What do you all think? And are you excited for raiding? Our read that raids are nice, but not really what I'm looking for? Are we completely wrong here? Is raiding what you all are all about? Especially for day 2, because it's incense and raids, which you can literally do from your house if you have a lot of remote raids.
Yeah.
Or memory passes, which is probably why the nerf came before GoFest, exactly for that reason, I think.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be easy money for them. What do you all think of Shaman? Are you excited? I honestly think it's one of the cutest Pokemon. It is just super adorable. I have a real soft spot for hedgehogs.
Oh, no. Actually, my first hedgehog in the wild, I saw walking along the path outside of Bag End when I was visiting Hobbiton in New Zealand. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is as picturesque as humanly possible.
That's
It's
cool.
like I'm half in Wind in the Willows and half in the Shire, and it's just
Yeah.
it's and New Zealand is wonderful. And I wasn't playing Pokemon Go when I went there, so I didn't get any Relicanth, and I'm sad by that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was my first wild hedgehog. Obviously, I saw lots of echidnas in Australia, which are equally adorable. But yeah, I think Shaman is going to be a big hit with the cute Pokemon crowd, and I don't blame them. Shaman's adorable. So I'm hoping they give it something usable and good, because it's right. You can give it Magical Leaf. We've got that in the game. Or you can go crazy and give it Seed Flare too. Like I want them to make it, even though it's monograss, like as good as Meganium.
Yeah.
Is all I'm asking for. Do I think we'll get it? No, but do I hope we will get it? Yes. Because currently, like its stats are in the game, and it's got good stats. It's 100. It's like 18, almost 1900 stat product, but it's got like hidden power and Zen Headbutt, which means they haven't put real moves in for it yet. So I'm hoping we get something viable for it, so I can find an excuse to run it.
Oh, for sure. Any excuse to run more grass types, I'm in. I am down for that.
All right. Well, I think that is it for our coverage. Why don't you sign us out, please?
Yeah, so thanks very much for listening. Again, give us lots of feedback if you can. Really appreciate any comments you can make. You can email us at silphtime@gmail.com.
Address is on the screen.
You can get us on Twitter, Instagram, both Silphtime Pod. You can leave a comment on the YouTube video. You can find us on Spotify or on anywhere you get your podcasts. And yeah, tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to hear. And tell us what Pokemon you want us to talk about. We're really keen to hear.
And if you happen to run into us at GoFest, you'll know us because we're going to be sporting our Dublin Decidueyes, our faction jerseys that we had custom made to flex during GoFest, because
oh yeah,
I mean, it's just fun, right? It's all part of the fun and excitement that is GoFest and playing Pokemon Go with friends. So we hope to see you all out there. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for stopping in, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.